talking about Artistic Digitizer, so we'll just give a couple more minutes here for people to join in. And you know, I like to ask a question. So tell me today if you, I want to, do you know what? I want to know your favorite ice cream flavor. That is today's question of the day. Is your favorite ice cream flavor? Mine is chocolate peanut butter anything. And if there is no chocolate peanut butter, then chocolate everything or cookie dough. But chocolate peanut butter is my favorite. So let us know in the comments what your favorite ice cream flavor is. Just because it's kind of fun to know that and to learn that about people. Cookie dough. Oh my goodness, I love cookie dough. Cookie dough, cookie dough, cookie dough. Strawberry or blueberry cheesecake. You know, I had New York cherry cheesecake. Here, I'll take these off so they're not glaring at you. I had New York cherry cheesecake yesterday, and oh my goodness, it was delicious. Chunky Monkey, that's a good one too. If I'm gonna buy ice cream like at the grocery store, my absolute favorite is Haagen-Dazs chocolate peanut butter. It is like the best, sweet and salty. Salted caramel, ooh, that's a good one too. Well, without further ado, let's get started. So we're talking about embroidery and Artistic Digitizer today. And so I'm going to show you a couple of things, but I also want to know if there's anything over the last little while that you've thought, oh, I wonder if Artistic Digitizer can do this. Let me know, and I'll try and show you what I will try and give you a quick demo of what Artistic Digitizer can do. So I'm going to flip the camera here. Where's my button? Here's my button. So that you can see the software. So this is Artistic software. I know you guys have seen this before. We've had a couple of Instagram lives about, Artistic Digitizer. And so I want to know what you, besides your favorite ice cream flavor, I would love to know what you would use Artistic Digitizer for. So one of the things I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you how to digitize a quilt label, because I think it's important to have something on hand so that when we finish a quilt, it's easy to stitch it out. So I'm going to base my design using the RE20 hoop. So that is our 5x7 hoop that comes on the 550E. And so I'm going to create new. And so here is the hoop, and we're going to zoom all so that you can see everything. So one of the things that I like to have on a quilt label is I like to be able to have a little bit of a border. So I'm going to use the clip art library here, and I'm going to insert clip art. So Artistic Digitizer comes with a ton of different graphics built into it that are easily digitized to make your own anything, your own quilt labels, your own, there's like the possibilities are absolutely endless. So it is alphabetical. So what I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put in the word border. So this is going to bring up anything that has the word border attached to it. So there's really ornate and detailed borders. There's simple borders. Let me find the one that I love. It's at the bottom, I think. So you can see there's all kinds of different borders that are built in. Oh, it's not at the bottom. Okay, let's go back up to the top. I'm going to use this one. This one I think is absolutely gorgeous. So when you're using the clip art library, I can't get out of the comment section to see the whole screen. I'm not sure how you do that. Maybe tap the 3 little dots beside the comment box to see if it comes up, but actually you're only going to see part of my screen because I'm on an iPad, and if I turn it, it gets weird. So you're actually only going to see part of what I have on the screen, but I will do my best to make sure that it's clear for you. So I have picked a border design, and so what I'm going to, with the crosshairs now, I'm going to click and drag until I think it's big enough. So I'm going to start like that. And the pink box is telling me that it is outside of the range of the hoop. So an easy way to just replace, or not replace, but to reposition this one is actually to go up here to this button here. And if you go center to hoop, it automatically centers it to the hoop. And that is really handy. So I'm going to increase the zoom a little bit so that we can see. So this is sort of like a dragon border. I actually thought I was getting a Celtic knot border, but we're just going to work with this dragon border today. And you can then, once you have your border in here, you can then add text. So I'm going to add text, and I'm going to write made with love. And made only has 1 E, so let me just edit that. Okay, so it says made with love, and then I'm going to go down here to the paint bucket here, and I want to change the color because it is difficult to see the white letters on the screen. So I'm just going to click the paint bucket here. And when my computer decides to cooperate, I will be able to change the color. So there, okay, so I have that selected. So I'm gonna use, there we go. And I'm gonna make it purple. So now I've got my words here. And I know, looking at these words, they're too big to have inside the border. So what I can do really easily is I can break them apart, which then allows the 3 words to work independently of each other. And then I can just click one of the words and move it. So what I want to do is I want to stack these words on top of each other. So I've got them here, but I want to make sure that they're centered. So I'm going to select them all, and then I'm going to use this shaping button up here, or sorry, the align button. And I want to center them so they're centered with each other. And I want them to have equal spacing. So that means that they have the equal distance between each line. And then I'm going to go back up here to my center to hoop button. And we're going to move that. Okay, so we can see it's not centered yet. So I'm going to select everything now. Or so I'm going to select both things, and I'm going to go back up to align, and I'm going to center them. So now everything is centered together, and I can center it to the hoop. And so now our quilt label is ready to go. So that is how easy you can make a quilt label and have it saved for any kind of project that you have on the go, with just a few buttons with the lettering and using the built-in clip art. So far we are learning about Artistic Digitizer, and I also want to know what your favorite ice cream flavor is. And then there's one other thing I want to show you. This sample here, and I will flip my little camera or my little light to make it brighter. And this is a sample that I just did for our Artistic Digitizer class that is going to be happening this fall. So if you have been thinking about getting Artistic Digitizer and you're a little nervous about it, please don't be nervous. Take the plunge. We're going to have 3 classes that build consecutively on each other so that you can learn how to work with the software. So this flower, I stitched it out on 2 layers of tulle, and I stitched out the leaves and then the petals of the flower. And then I used the cutwork feature to actually cut with the cutting knives to cut the shape around the flower. And then I stitched the last step to secure the flower to my napkin. So I'm going to show you how easily it is to modify some of these changes so that you can get beautiful things all by yourself. So we're going to go back over here to this new one that I have open here, and I'm going to go back again to the clip art library, and I'm going to insert some clip art. And this time I'm going to put a flower. Oops, flower. And here's my flower. So I'm going to insert it, and then I'm going to make it the size that I want it to make. And then I'll center it to the hoop, and then I'm going to make it bigger so that you can really see what I'm working with here. So we can see here this design. It has a satin stitch for the petals. It has a row fill, or sorry, not a row fill, but step fill for the leaves. And so what I did, first of all, is I changed my sequencing here to be manual. So this is where you can decide on where different, how different things are stitched. And I don't want my leaves to be stitched at the same time as the center. So I'm going to ungroup this. And that means that then you can work with each element individually. So I want to select my leaves here, and I want to change the color. So I'm going to go back to the paint bucket, and I'm going to change the color. And that is to make sure that it's going to be in a different color, because I want all of these that are the green, which is the center part, I want them all to stitch out at the same time. So now I have my 3 segments, and I want to work with these 2, the leaves and then the actual flower. I want to work with them together at the same time so that they stay together, stacked in the right sequence. So I am going to use the control button, and I'm going to select both of them, and then I'm going to come over here on the design, right click and press group. So now when I click either of these things, I'm going to be working with both of those sections of the design. So in order to be able to use the cutwork tool, I want to put a border around this design first. So I'm going to go up to convert, and I'm going to do an auto border. And so this is going to be I want just the border, so it doesn't matter if it's inside or outside, and I want it to be exact. So I'm going to just leave a distance of 0, and I'm going to press OK. So now down here, now we have a new object in our design, which is the border. So it's at this point then that we can start playing with some of these features here in the properties box. So I'm going to click off, and I'm going to make sure that only this is selected. And to do that, I'm just going to scroll up and make sure that those are not selected. So I've got this, and I'm going to click cutwork. So now we've got everything that we need to create this cut work design. So I want to have it offset from my design by about 1/8 of an inch. And so now when we look at everything, we can see that we've got this cut work line, and that's where our design is actually going to cut on the embroidery machine. And the reason we know that is by checking the print preview. So if we go to the print preview, and we can see here that there is the thread colors, and then down here at the bottom, there's the black, blue, red, and green squares here. And I'm gonna just move the iPad so that you can look at it more closely and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So these ones here. So the knives that come with the cut work set, the needles, they are different directions so that your machine will cut all the way around your embroidery design to make it for freestanding lace or whatever you want to have as freestanding. So I know that those are there. I'm going to cancel this. And the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my flower center is after everything. So I'm going to select this bottom one here, and I'm going to hold down my control button, and I'm just going to keep scrolling up and selecting all of these green parts together. And I want to group them. So now they're working together and they're going to play nice with everything else. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here and I'm going to grab that and I am just going to move it to under here. And so now when we go to stitch out our design, everything is going to be in the right order. We're going to have our leaves and our flower and then do our cut work so that then you can use the flower center to applicate your beautiful cut work design onto your fabric so that you get, at the end, you get this. So these are just a couple of really awesome things you can do with Artistic Digitizer. And I'm going to flip the camera. Hi again. So tell me, what are the other things you can use Artistic Digitizer for? If you had it, what would you use it for? Does anybody have any thoughts on what you could use Artistic Digitizer for? There's lots of different things you can use it for. You can use it for adding monograms and lettering. You can use it for splitting letters if you wanted to change them into different colors. You can take an embroidery design and make it an applique. You can combine designs together. You can take an applique design and turn it into a quilting design and then quilt a quilt or a table runner. The options with using Artistic Digitizer, they're endless and you can really take your creativity up a notch. So that's all I have for you today. I'm so glad that you took a few minutes out of your afternoon to join me. We are coming up on the end of our Instagram lives, and that's okay because we've got lots and lots of great content coming to you in the form of online classes through your local dealer. So keep watching our blog for the list of the classes that will be offered. And tune in next week. Liz on Tuesday is doing an Instagram live and she's going to be covering all of those classes. And we are just really excited to get to see you guys virtually and teach you more things about all the wonderful Janome products that we have. So don't forget to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Janome Life, and also the blog janomelife.wordpress.com. Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you have a great day and a great long weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye.